Hi guys, it's Helen here. I'm really sorry I haven't made a video in a long time, but I've just been really busy this summer. Today I thought I would make it up to you by making a first time tag video. Basically what it is I'm going to go through a list of first times in my life that I think are kind of important. And a lot of other YouTubers have done it. Tyler Oakley's done it, Connor Frant has done it, so I thought I might as well do one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe when you're done watching this, and let's begin. My first word, the general consensus seems to be that my first word was no. I think that was pretty much my sister's and my brother's first words as well. I guess we were just really stubborn kids, and I would say I say no to about half of things now, so I don't know, I guess not much has changed. My first pet, technically my first pet was a dog that my parents had before I was born, named Heidi, but she died when I was only about a year old, so I would think my real first pet is a yellow lab collie named Sandy. She was so sweet, she was so furry. I remember I would just spend all my time with her, and I was really, really sad when she passed away right before I went to high school. I do have another dog now named Bear, and he's really sweet, but Sandy will always have a special place in my heart. My first fear is actually a really weird fear. My grandparents had this boat that they would keep in a marina, I think when I was about 3 or 4 years old, and every time we went there I would always be so scared that I would fall into the water, and like all the fish that were in there would like eat me up and spit me out or something like that. And I just remember, it was a really irrational fear, kind of, but even today, actually, I still don't like going in natural bodies of water because I just don't like fish. Like, even when I go to the beach, I have to wear flip-flops or water shoes when I go in the water because it just annoys me. My first job is actually the job I have now, other than babysitting. I work in a grocery store, I cashier. It's actually a really nice job. I love the people that I work with. I get paid pretty well, I think, which is good because I'm going to college in the fall and I need some money. Overall, I think it's a good first job to have. My first car, it was a Chevy Malibu. My first car, I named him Bueller, just because I could. And he was such a good car, and the bass on the radio was really loud, and I just loved like coming up to traffic lights and just blasting the music loud, and I would get weird looks from the people next to me. Unfortunately, Bueller died about 2 months ago because I crashed him. It didn't look too bad, but I guess the one thing to total it that could happen did, so now I drive my parents' Subaru, which is also a good car, but nothing will ever compare to my first car. In fact, the only thing I have left of it is its license plate. So, moving on. My first cell phone, you guys are going to laugh at me, it wasn't even like a flip phone or anything. It was like a brick of a Nokia phone, and I actually got it when I was a freshman in high school. I wasn't even in middle school. I got it because I was in musical, and my mom needed to know when I needed to get picked up. So I think that was pretty much the only thing I did with it. I couldn't text, I couldn't go on the internet, I basically couldn't do anything at all with it, so it was a really boring phone, and I remember being jealous of people that had like iPhones and everything. But now I have an iPhone. The first time I ever went out of the country was right after 8th grade. I went on a mission trip to Canada with my youth group. I only drove about 2 or 3 hours into Canada, but it still counts. We helped clean up this summer camp, and we got to go to this really cool place called the Grotto. It had like a 15-foot ledge that you could jump off of into like a clean freshwater pool. And I just remember being so afraid to do it, but I ended up conquering the fear and jumping in, and you had to get out right away because the water was like freezing cold. But yeah, that was actually one of my favorite trips that I've ever taken. My first concert was again right after 8th grade, and I went to a Hillsong United concert with my mom and the rest of our worship team at church. If you don't know who they are, they're a Christian music group, and their music is actually really good, but I just remember the energy was just so high, and it was just so much fun, and I actually got lost, but it ended up working out. My first YouTube video is actually not one you can see. My first YouTube video was called, like, I think it was called, like, 2012 movies that I wanted to see. I don't know. I wanted to be a film buff back then, and I just remember it was so long. It was like 17 minutes long, which is why I had to put it in 2 parts. I had this really horrible shirt on, really horrible headband. I talked so fast. I was so nervous. I didn't make any eye contact. It was just horrible. And I took it down about 2 hours after I put it up because I just didn't want anyone seeing that. And I will never let anyone see that, so don't get your hopes up about seeing any of that. No, I don't want to remember that. The first CD I ever got, it was actually given to me by my friend at my 8th birthday party, and it was I Could Sing If You Love Forever Kids. I still have it today. It was basically like a worship CD that with kids singing on it. I remember I was so happy to have my own CD, and I would listen to it for days on end. In reality, it was, it was like the Christian Kids Bop, kind of. And Kids Bop is kind of meh. Side note, the most recent CD that I got was Demi Lovato's album, Demi. She has an amazing voice, amazing songs. Go check it out if you haven't heard it. It's so good. The first tweet that I ever sent, I joined Twitter on September 12th, 2012. I did not tweet until the next day. So my first tweet was, haha, I vow to be the most appropriate tweeter ever, hashtag role model, oh, and hashtag happy birthday, Niall. So basically you can see I joined on Niall Horan's birthday. The only reason I wanted to get a Twitter at that point was because I wanted to follow all the boys of One Direction. So, yay! My interests have changed a little bit. I think since then I use my Twitter for other things. It's not like One Direction obsessed or anything. And I think I would say that I've pretty much kept to the I'm a pretty appropriate tweeter thing. I haven't gotten in trouble yet. Maybe. I don't know. And finally, another first that I wanted to share with you is the first book I ever read on my own. I was in 2nd grade. It was around Christmas time. It was called The Legend of the Candy Cane. It was quite wordy for a picture book. It wasn't that long, but it was a lot of words on each page. And I read it like silently to myself. It was like 9 o'clock at night. It was way past my bedtime. And I just remember being done with it, and I was so excited that I had finally read a book on my own, and I wanted to run upstairs and tell my parents that I'd read it so they could be proud of me. But I thought they would be really mad at me because it was past my bedtime and I was supposed to be sleeping, so I didn't. But I just remember being so happy about that. That is it for all my first times. Well, comment below what some of your first times were. It can be questions from this video, or you can add some of your own significant ones. That'd be great. Remember to like, comment, subscribe wherever the subscribe button is now. Make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I post lots of fun stuff there. Thanks for watching, and I will see you sometime soon. Bye!